Hello? Are you there?
Hello? Hello? I had myself muted.
I'm here with you, but I just have to go get a glass of water. I'll be right back.
I understand.
In my book. Oh, Paul brought me my water.
Oh, that's your lovey-dovey.
Yep. He sure is, my honey.
I
don't know what I would ever do without him.
I know. Well, you'll never get that opportunity to discover that. You know that, of course.
I know that. He'll be with me in every lifetime.
Well, he already has. And these guys don't actually think this is the beginning, right?
No. So I failed you. I'm sorry.
I beg your pardon?
I failed you. I'm sorry.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
How did you fail me, dear?
I was supposed to get back to you with a topic.
Yeah. Oh, that.
Yeah, that.
Oh.
So you wanted it from the when, which, and how?
Well, yeah, I did. But what I did also is since and I'm not sure if all the newbies are going to be popping up, is I sent them copies of stuff from the introduction on the WingMakers and who the Lyricus Order is, kind of thing. It like before when I introduced that it was not really Homo sapiens that started the Lyricus Order.
Right.
I alluded to that, but this kind of puts it in words. I sent out also a copy of the Six Virtues so that people could take a look at that. That doesn't mean that everybody got a chance to take a look at it. I talked to a couple of people who said, "Oh yeah, but I've been so busy, I didn't get a chance." Blah blah blah. So it is what it is. I mean, I managed to get some word from Dr. Ayala. So when everybody is online, I will play that. I hope you guys can hear it.
All right.
And yeah, the sweetie pie, he's enjoying he's enjoying what he's enjoying.
Sure. Why not? He's earning more money in a day than he earned in a month here.
Yes, that's true. And oh, he sounded so sweet. He sent it to me on Messenger. He made a tape, a recording. And so I recorded that onto my phone. And I'm going to play that when I've already talked to Sharon and to Nelia and to, I don't know if Sherry is back yet. I left her a message. But I know that I don't think she's back yet. And so I've been trying to do that in keeping up with everything else that I'm trying to do, which is really not there either.
I have to ask your indulgence again for a second.
Sure.
My attorney just walked in my front door with his wife.
Ooh.
Let me go let them know I am about to go on the radio and ask their indulgence.
You have 3 minutes. It's 8:27. You have 3 minutes, sweetie. Oh, I would never hold you to anything. Go. Okay. Go. And I'm going to find my lovey-dovey to get me a glass of water. Namoringe. Okay. All righty. Namo ringeyo. Namo ringeyo. Namo ringeyo. Oh, that one is needs a little tuning, eh? Oh, that's going to be okay. Should I use this one or that one? And we have 60 seconds before I start or stop. It doesn't matter. Well, the smaller one always. It must be octave, 3 octaves lower. Mm. No moringeyo. No moringeyo. No moringeyo. No moringeyo. No moringeyo. It is now 8:30, 8:31. And this is Reverend Sharon, which you've heard in the background is 3 octaves of the Tibetan brass bowls. Yes, they are Tibetan brass. And good evening. This is the forum, or rather the group forum for the Lyricus Order. And this is I would say, the event that usually takes place at the Center for Inner Wisdom. And this evening, we're going to have a few people from the forum that's going to be available. Right now, we're holding for Reverend Robert Ray. I'm also expecting Reverend Sharon Renee and one or two others uh, as well. Those who promised to come and could not make it, well, we understand this is the beginning of the second week of the new, brand new year. And so there's still quite a bit of scurrying around as people more or less get their sea legs in what shall be, I believe, a very eventful year. I hope that I can be heard. The voice is just a little softer today, with good reason. But in the meantime, for those who will listen to this in the future or If you are familiar with the message of the Lyricus Order, you may want to take notes. Oh, okay, that's open. I must shut that. I am in the studio at the moment, talking to myself, of course.
No, you're not.
Oh,
I'm back. I have to keep it short though tonight.
Okay. And so how far along would you like to go?
Well, where did you say you wanted to start?
Well, let's see. I did send out, where is it? Some of the introduction pages. I put tabs on them, so I would remember what I sent out. Because hello, good evening, my friend. How are you? This Tony? Yes, good evening.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Tony. How are you, my brother?
Good. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work because I'm working on a contract. So I'm going to be listening in only as I'm doing some work. So I may not be able to interact as much as I'd like to, but I will.
Okay.
I will be listening and absorbing everything.
One can only hope that we all absorb everything because we're all
it's going to be shorter tonight because my attorney is sitting in my dining room.
Okay, so how short is it going to be?
I'll let you know when I hear them out there, and I know it's time I have to get out there.
Okay.
They have a big deal going on, and they wanted a link between the United States and the Dominican Republic for medical referral.
That's a good idea.
They want to include the healing, and that's what he's here to talk about.
Oh, fantastic.
He's been trying to get with me for days. I was sick over the holidays. I couldn't meet with anybody. I didn't want to cough all over people. And frankly, I really wanted and needed my rest.
Okay.
So I got today.
You got today?
I got today. Today I have to offer up.
Well, it's so very nice to see you and hear from you, Robert.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much.
I've been meaning to stop by, and as a matter of fact, I wanted to stop by Friday when I had a little bit of time, but you're not in the office in the center Friday, so
Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
However,
and then I'm pretty well spent. I mean, we handle a lot of people.
But remember, Wednesday we have an appointment with you between 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Tony, did you get the things that I emailed you about? It's taken from the reference to Lyricus teaching order.
I did get them.
Okay. All right.
Yes. I received them. I've not reviewed them as of yet.
That's okay. You're not alone. There's, let's see, 2 or 3 other people that I sent out the same information, and nobody's gotten a chance to. It's still an early part of the year, with a lot of people still closing down things from last year, which it's all transition. It's all about transition. So, should we give? I wanted to wait until Nelia and Reverend Sharon at least signed on to play Dr. Ayala's Hello.
Please do wait. Yeah, please do wait.
Please wait?
Wait until they're here.
Okay, all right. I will do that. Okay.
And go back to what you had earmarked in your copy of the book and let me know where you're at.
Okay. It's under references, page 18, and it has a subtitle of Lyricus teaching order. And it explains that the teaching order originates in the central race of the 7th super universe. Okay. And so, yes. So I know that
your book and my book are different.
Are they?
Yeah. My 18 is not that. So.
Okay.
From the table of contents. Tell me what I'm looking for.
Okay, this is, it would be behind the art of the genuine, a spiritual imperative.
In the when, which, how?
Yes.
The art of the genuine.
Yes.
I have section 1 is intro. Section 2 is approaching the practice. Section 3, the practice of when, which, how.
Okay,
Section 4,
it had to be section 1 because the very next page shows a very nice photo or diagram of the heart virtues. And that says page 2.
And that's 14 in my book.
Oh, 4 and 5.
Does it begin with the fundamental skill needed for the energetic transmission of universal love?
Let's see. No. Energetic heart. Okay, and so it goes from, I think it's at the end of that chapter, right at the end of that chapter goes into references, and then it says energetic heart, okay, energetic heart is 1.
Okay, the energetic heart and its 6 virtues?
And yeah.
All right.
Then under that is Lyricus teaching order. And I said subtotal, it's subtitle.
I must have a different copy than you.
This
is the book that I have.
That's the book that I have. Okay. Now that's unusual. And you don't have the art of the genuine?
Let me look. Observation, sensitivity, the 6 heart virtues, grid meditation, alertness to the call, know thyself, treat, track, transform.
Okay. Well, let's focus on the let's focus on the grid meditation, on the meditation.
Try giving me a page for that.
You must have the teacher's copy.
No, I don't have a teacher's copy. I give everybody the same copy.
Okay, let's see. All right, if we go by chapters, this is just before.
Well, meditation is on page 57.
Okay. 57. Okay, now 57, in which I'm looking at energetic
meditation that begins at 6:30 a.m. Yes?
Yes. Hold on 1 second. I'm looking at potentials and choice, heart maps, final words, and I don't think we're on the same page yet. Heart independent, sensory organs. No, not that. Okay, what I've got is the, well, I already said art of the genuine. Art of the genuine is in between, it's in between art of the genuine and event 3, spirit activism. Does that sound familiar? No.
No.
I can tell. It doesn't sound familiar. Okay. Because each chapter is sectioned off. Under which chapter am I looking? The energetic heart, the rising.
If you go by section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, point me that way.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. Section 4. Living from the heart. Okay. Aye. Ground control to Major Sharon. Okay. Introduction on that page. And I don't have page numbers on this one. Here we go. Spoke too soon.
I'm talking about the table of contents on page 2 and 3. If you tell me from there.
Okay. 1 second. Table of contents 2 and 3. Okay. Okay, section 2, approaching the practice.
Okay.
When do we practice? Remembering to practice. Which one? We can do the 6 heart virtues grid meditation. It's on 26 and section 2. Okay. There we go. Eureka. All right.
Disclose virtues grid meditation.
There we go. All right. I will make sure that you get a copy of this, Tony. One of the exercises given in Living from the Heart is the 6 heart virtues grid meditation. So, sir, Reverend Robert Ray.
Yes.
Are you doing that, or?
I can do that. We'll start with reading.
Okay.
And we can discuss after each paragraph if you like. Okay. Are you ready to begin, or do you want to wait for more people to appear?
I know both of these individuals are really, really interested in being here, but we got to get started. I don't want you to. Right. I don't want anybody to.
I do have guests out there.
Yeah.
That I need to spend some time with.
Yeah.
So, in view of the fact that I'm a very busy man.
Yes. So
that starts my day at 6 a.m. I'd like to begin now, if that's agreeable.
That's agreeable. Most
Is that
definitely.
Okay with you, Tony?
He's not responding, so he must be deep in whatever he's doing. So we'll go along now. Anybody that wants to refer back to this, it'll be online.
Exactly right.
Yeah. He's gone. Here comes Merging Spirit. There she is. Okay.
Hello, dearest.
Reverend Sharon Renee. There we go. All right. We're about to do, and you don't have this page, dear. I'm going to send it to you, okay? But Robert is going to read the 6 heart virtues grid meditation. All right? And she is listening.
Okay. One of the exercises given in Living from the Heart is the 6 heart virtues grid meditation. According to the meditation, through persistent and steady practice, we can actually create an energy grid of the 6 virtues around ourselves wherever we go. This meditation is performed in real time. That is, we do this meditation at the scenes of our daily encounters in contrast to the traditional morning meditation session. Our success in building this grid within our energy field is a major step in practicing when, which, how, because it strengthens our sensitivity to ourselves, to those around us, and to the energetic heart and higher self. At this stage, this means that we have our tools present and mobilized to act in any encounter. We can be compared to battlefield physicians who carry their medical skills with them at all times. When the need arises, their healing medications and supplies are always within their reach. You might be asking why there is a need to practice when, which, how, if we deliver these virtues wherever we go. It's a good question. The answer lies, I believe, in the physician healing metaphor just described. Our 6 virtues matrix is similar to the preventive medicine. Through the steady generation and maintenance of this grid, we practice emotional hygiene. Most of us know the importance of keeping our physical bodies and living spaces clean, of maintaining a balanced diet, of getting enough exercise. As adults, we know how to avoid potentially dangerous situations by following common sense safety rules. Before I even go any further, as a healer, I must say that one of my gravest concerns is that people come to me sick. They leave well. That's diseases like cancer, leukemia, cellulitis as a result of unobserved diabetic rules and regulations, poor circulation, threat of blood clots, or maybe actual blood clots. I get them all cleaned up. I send them back into the world. They go right back to living the way they were living when they brought these things on themselves.
Pick up thy bed and walk.
Yep. The same is true in spiritual life. We give people a teaching. We give them an education. We help them to grow in their spiritual stature. But how many of them stay with the program and continue on? To paraphrase this, spiritual life is not for sissies. It isn't. It takes a lot of work to maintain a proper attitude. I fail myself every day.
Well, I can't say amen for you failing yourself, but I'm in the church. Okay, I'm in the church.
I get it. I fail myself every day.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't like our political situation in America. I make a post that has a judgment in it. I failed myself. I make a statement that is born of hurt and therefore results with a degree of anger. I've failed myself. It's a lot to maintain. It's a lot to maintain a clear head, a clear heart. Look, I began in my spiritual life by channeling, and I channeled Ho'oponopono. 7 years running, I'm still teaching. Even on that level, I fail. I can clean and clear anything negative out of my mind and my heart. But sometimes I make a decision to actually betray my core values and speak before I think. Reaction. The same danger is inherent in this practice. This is an individual commitment that we have to make.
Yes.
I possess all of the 6 heart virtues within myself, and I exercise them based on convenience, not as discipline. We have to become more disciplined. I'm honest with myself and with the world about my failings because I think it's essential. Because I think everybody is going to fail at some point, in some way, at some time. I don't want them to feel left alone. We're human.
Yes.
We're human, and we have to accept our human failings and just roll up our sleeves and keep trying. All right, I'm going to go on. Enough said there.
No, you've said a great deal.
Yeah, well, you know what? When we teach on spiritual truths, the first thing we better be is honest with ourselves. Don't you agree?
I agree totally. To thine own self be true.
Yep, exactly right. And by admitting the truths that I sense within myself to others around me, it makes me a better, more truthful teacher.
It makes you more realistic
And human.
and more powerful as well. Would you, Sharon, Renee, did you have something to say or ask about the passage that Robert read, or should we go on?
Why the hand signals? Why no voice, honey?
What?
Noise in the background? No? Oh, no headphones.
Ah.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. Well, you, as long as you can hear us then, and you can type something in the chat. So if you get a question or a statement or something you'd like to pass on.
But
Robert,
sweetheart, I see your note. My computer is not picking up my mic. Do you know that your computer's mic is shut off? Okay. I'm going to take that as...
I think that's a yes.
All right.
Okay.
So, well, but you can hear us okay. Okay. All right. By creating the heart virtues grid in our energy field, we are maintaining a healthy emotional environment that is an extension of the healthy physical environment many of us value so highly and maintain as a normal part of our everyday lives. Just as unhealthy physical living lowers the power of our immune systems, leaving us vulnerable to illness and disease. Unhealthy emotional living or emotional chaos also reduces the power of our immune system. Well, yes.
Yes.
Unhealthy spiritual practice leaves us so vulnerable to stress, which we can more easily avoid by exercising our spiritual standards during a crisis moment.
Yes, I have something to say when you're finished with that paragraph. I'd like you to finish.
All right. Let me see where I am. Thus, it is obvious that coupling the energy grid's emotional hygiene to the physical hygiene of modern living can have a tremendous positive effect on every aspect of our lives.
Okay. What I was going to say, it has come to my attention. Well, I've always been aware of it, but now it seems to be worse. There are a lot of light workers who are willing to work with the dark side. Okay, people, I love you. Don't save the rotten tomatoes and the eggs. Oh yeah, there's so many people that are double agents, I call them, because they work for the dark side, but they call themselves light workers. These are people with intentions of harming other people in using their abilities. We're all gifted. Okay, this is where I'm coming from. From childhood, everybody is gifted. We all have powers and talents, as they call it in scripture. And how we use them determines the caliber and the integrity of the type of person that we are. Yes, there are some people who are more awake than others. That doesn't mean that they are the only ones awake. Okay, number one. Number two, if you have abilities and gifts and you're not using them, like my friend Robert here, to assist in the healing process of humanity, you need an integrity check.
Yep.
Okay, because
integrity, the first word of our vocabulary, the most important word in our vocabulary. Wherever you are, you bring yourself with you.
Yes.
Let a face of integrity show first.
Yes.
People can't accept anything you speak of without sensing integrity.
Yes. And I'm running into a lot of those lately. And I'm not, not making judgment. However, I don't believe that God punishes us. I don't think I ever have. I believe that we punish ourselves when we take in work for the dark side, or we do that double agent thing, James Bond type of thing, where we're working on for the Russians and the Yankees at the same time. And so we do ourselves in by pulling in energies into our own parameters that we don't need.
Listen.
Keep your intention of the light. This is all I'm saying, people.
I think let's look at why people sink to that. We're all just human.
Well, yes.
There was a long period in my spiritual life I was not achieving the results I had hoped to possess and embody. I always had an opportunity to slide to the dark side. But when I slide to the dark side, if I slide to the dark side, what am I doing? I'm just trying to force my will.
Yes.
Instead of trusting and letting the universe unfold as it is supposed to.
Hello again.
I'm sorry. When I get a phone call, it disconnects everything else.
That's all right.
That's fine, sweetie.
Welcome back, Tony.
Yes, but Robert's on a very hot point right now. I thought, yes, Sharon is agreeing. She's holding her heart. Okay.
So, if I feel dry, I have two choices. One, I can accept my dryness as a dark night of the soul, which feels like there's no growth, no movement, no direction. But that's not true. That is a period that we're supposed to bridge with our fortitude and determination. That's what the dark night of the soul comes about for, so that we can learn to discipline ourselves in moving forward and continuing in the spiritual practice, even though we feel net zero. The moment we sink to, I'm gonna use a word, and I don't mean for it to sound crude. The moment we sink to magic, we have left the world of spiritual trust to push an agenda that might not be for the better of anything or anybody.
Okay, now I've got something to say on the use of the word magic. Mm-hmm. I believe that we are all magical.
Yes, we are.
We all the energy that we have available to us from source within us is what, if you break it down, it could be determined or designated as magic.
But that's not what I mean.
Yeah, no, what I was going to say is that it's more to me that we take the magic that we have in our possession and we misuse it. That's what, because if you line up all of the religions and spiritual philosophies of the planet, you're going to find a kernel in there where it all comes from the same source. What we do with it, and I know of people who decide, well, I'm going to make people like me. I'm going to have riches beyond and at this and that. And they use that with the intention of not looking back at who may be harmed. And I understand it's a part of the human development to go through that stage where we desire material things more than we desire our own integrity to be intact. What I was referring to was I seem to be running into a lot of people who are willing to do that lately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I didn't know that they were there. It's just that they're more open with it now. And so to me, I guess, since I've never done that for that reason, for that purpose with anybody, it's just, maybe I'm getting old. It just seems that it's a waste of time, because if you, for that purpose, that energy that's coming through the dark side, it may be affected by evil. It may be affected by entities. It may be affected by just things that you would not approach if you were thinking straight. But there are people who are willing to even overlook that, where it's coming from, as long as they can get what they want. The only thing is, and in practicing the virtues, like,
all right,
you said 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. The more that we do that, the more I think we develop the vision that leads us to the point where we realize that's a mistake. Don't go there.
I have a major question I have to ask you.
Uh-oh.
Let's clear this out of the way, because I don't get it. You mentioned evil or dark energies.
Mm.
Do you know I have never sensed evil or dark energies other than in the hearts of humanity? I have never sensed an evil side to the spirit world. I don't even know that it exists. What is that? Naivete?
No, when I say evil, it's kind of like being in another church and following a different religion. Actually, I've had friends that are Wiccans and profess to be sorcerers and so on and so forth, but their intention was of the caliber that it never bothered me. But if someone has an intention that is not for highest good, I wouldn't call them evil or wicked, but I do sense a variation in the frequency of the vibration. I wouldn't say that you're feeling or not feeling it is naivete. I have, for instance, a friend who still calls me because she can see the physical characteristics of people who have gone on, or people who might be considered not even people, reptilians, that kind of stuff. And she would always ask me, why do I see them? And I would tell her, you see them so that you can pray for them.
What is a reptilian? A reptilian is an extraterrestrial being of a different dimension crossing over into our world.
Yes.
It's not the spirit world.
See,
well, that's true.
I feel the malevolent entities are more ETs, and it's not the norm, but the exception. I feel there are only very few malevolent, forces. They're not spiritual. They are in a perhaps fourth dimensional state of awareness, but they are trying to, exert control over us. But ultimately, I don't think it's a spiritual source. It's more of a, an ET influence.
Well, it's a vibration of energy. It's a frequency of energy. And some people are, especially if you're an empath, you can pick up variations in frequencies of energies. Reverend Sharon, can you speak?
I can.
I know you do. She can speak. Speak. You got something to add?
No, I am so with it. I was like trying to speak before, based on, where we were before, but as far as, negative energies and blah, blah, blah. But no, go ahead, please. I had to switch out of one thing and come back. Anyway, I'm no longer challenged in the computer.
I'm really enjoying this because
okay, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Robert, I know, is an empath. Yes, that's why I
are in this group right now.
Well, I think that everyone has the ability for telepathic communication and are sensitive to empathic frequencies of energy. It's just that we've been programmed not to acknowledge them, or we don't recognize them when they come through. I recognize them. I think most of the people that I know recognize their empathic abilities. And I try not to hang out with people who don't recognize theirs yet, because what did I the other night? I think Christians are probably the only people that scare me, because
Amen. Amen.
I'll leave that alone.
We'll leave that alone. Okay. No, it's just that, listen now, I'm an ordained, and I've been a chaplain, and I've seen that mentality. We have an O'Reilly in the house. The Irish are here.
They're having too much fun.
Yeah.
But both of you have such great points, Tony and Robert, about the validity of the reptilians. I feel, to take it just a little bit deeper, that they have or are acquiring or are trying to acquire the ability to work directly through spirit, which would explain why a lot of empaths can sense them when they come through the different dimensions. Opinion on that. Now that I have...
Yes. And also the synchronates who have not totally crossed over, but they've remained here.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo. Tony, you hit on the gold mine.
Yes.
You hit on the gold mine, because there are people that struggle with the concept of dying and refuse to leave the earth realm. They do not travel with their initiates who are supposed to escort them through one dimension into the other. They come into the room of the dying to escort. And sometimes those people, out of compassion, out of fear, out of actually disdain for having been ill and dying, refuse to leave. Now they must survive off of the human energy of the living.
I can
They can initiate chaos.
Yeah.
They can taint us and create chaos. But I think that's about as far as evil spirits go.
I can...
Because I reject the concept of a devil.
Oh, well, we won't go there. But I was asked to clear a house a few years ago, which I refused to do. One of the energies that was running around in the house was a little boy from the 1700s. And his information came through not through me, but through other mediums. I mean, this house was so haunted. There were 3 different mediums that were asked to come in as a team, and none of them wanted to take it on as a group, let alone as an individual. This little boy was had died right before he was seeking his mother, and he did not want to go into the light, and so he stayed in this house because he couldn't find his mother, and the light scared him. He didn't want to go without her. He ignored everything else. This house was, and I still speak with the lady that asked me to do that, but there was a lot of other challenges that went along. There was a lot of other dissatisfied energies within the house. But you're right. That's just to confirm what you're saying, that does take place. Okay, I have, and I'm going to play it because I know that you don't have that much time left. Message from Dr. Ayala, and I hope that you can hear it. 1 second. Let's see how this
While
works.
you're looking for it, hello, Nelia.
Hi, Roger. Happy New Year.
Happy and a healthy
New
New
Year,
Year.
everybody.
Happy New Year.
You all look so good. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine. How are
Doing
you?
good.
Glad to have you.
Good in here.
Okay. Here it goes.
Hello there. First thing I would like to wish everybody is a happy 2018. Have a wonderful year full of blessings and new discoveries. Never give up to your dreams and enjoy the WingMakers information. Be patient. It will grow up better and better. So I'm here in Dubai. There's a difference. By the time you listen to this message, I will be in another dimension enjoying my dreams. But I would like to share the love that I have for the WingMakers information. I wish you the best. God bless you all. Take care.
Okay, did that come through?
It came
Yes,
through
it
beautifully.
did. Loud and clear.
Listen, they are calling me. I have to give my attorney some attention. I apologize for an early departure because I'm enjoying this so much tonight.
Yeah, me
too. Yeah, well, next Monday, same time, same station.
It'll be better. It'll be better
and there will be even more people. There's a few people that are not in, but they'll be, I guess, next Monday. They'll be back from wherever they are. In the meantime, we love you so much.
Love you, Robert.
Love you all so much.
Robert. We love you.
I send you all my blessings.
Yes, there we go.
Yes. Right back at you.
And I hate to leave you looking at all those beautiful faces in front of me.
Oh.
Right,
we love you so much. We bless you and hold you and keep you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Love you.
All right, sweetie. Talk to you later. Namaste.
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 Okay. All right, children. What we're going to do. Okay, nobody has reviewed the 6 virtues yet, right? What I sent out. No, don't worry about it.
Robert had gone over this, right?
Well, the page that I sent to you guys, he couldn't find it on his end. So what we did basically, and I'm going to send it out, was he read from Oh, this is remembering to practice. There is a 6-heart virtue grid meditation. You're supposed to get, yes, Reverend Sharon. She's got it. Yeah, okay. Laminate that. I keep mine around my workstation to remind me. And if we had stayed on a little bit longer, we would have gone more into that. But now that you have the basics of it. You can review it in your own time. On this particular, I have it as a card. On this particular, wow, healing tool, I like to call it.
Do you want me to keep it up for you, Sharon?
No. Well, I don't know. Do you guys need to continue seeing it?
Wait.
Nelia. Wait.
I kicked myself out.
Uh-oh.
No,
Tony. Okay, he's on another phone call. All right. So, well, we're almost done. But understanding, humility, forgiveness, compassion, appreciation, valor, and the center of all of that is love. And that is something that is more than just beneficial for this year. This is a year of true love. I have a fellow intuitive on the line here, right? Reverend Sharon Renee. This is a year of true love. This is a year of discovering
true
love.
Divine love.
True divine love.
Allowing
This
the
is
divine feminine energy to
thank you.
Continue to nurture this energy and balance it in the divine masculine. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what does that mean to the Lyricus Order? Well, it means a great deal. It means a great deal because it is love that is going to open our hearts to the information that we are receiving, the WingMakers group. And that's why I sent out the pages that I did, so that you guys can get more familiar with the concept of the WingMakers group. Because when I discuss it with people, the first thing they ask, well, WingMakers, what's the WingMakers? What is that? The Lyricus group. What's the Lyricus group? What's a Lyricus Order? So,
wait a minute. I'm sorry. Can I interject, Sharon? I'm so sorry, but I feel like I have to say this.
Go right ahead.
You know, with a lot of you know, what we've been experiencing in the last 3 months. Let's just start there. Meaning it's been going on and on and on, but so that we can open up to this energy of love. Meaning a lot of us have gone through a lot of various hardships and different ups and downs as it pertains to, let's even just call it something, as it pertains to, say, twin flame and soulmates and all this other stuff that's been going on. But, you know, the intel that I received recently was the fact of really just letting us know that we had to go through these different things, go through the trenches of it, honestly, so that we could truly open up to this energy. But, you know, 1, you're still standing. 2, you take a look at what you just finished walking through. 3, to know that, you know, it made you stronger. So all these different things that have been going on that, you know, some of us may call like, you know, heart-wrenching, or, you know, going through various heartaches, or, you know, we could call it whatever you want tonight. But that was the epiphany. But meaning it just, you know, the information that has been coming through in the last few days have been just, oof.
You know, well, Sharon Renee.
Yes.
Notice that. Yes. You know something? We ought to have a psychic fair of our own.
I think that'll be best.
Throw up a tent on the beach. I used to do, well, never mind. We won't go to that now. But you're speaking definitely the truth.
Yeah, so no, I just felt compelled to say that because even listening to, you know, we are connected. We are all connected, you know, in the grand scheme of things. And listening to Dr. Ayala's, you know, message just now too, because, you know, he got us started in this energy of love, but not having any fear.
Yes, he did. Go ahead, sweetie.
I what I've gotten from you know, my, I guess, meditation, studying, and everything else, we as souls come from a place where everything is perfection. We are perfect divine beings who are highly creative, who seek to experience. So that's why we've come to this physicality, to experience duality, to experience things, events, emotions, specifically emotions that we would not experience back home in our spiritual essence. Um, we know what hate is as spiritual beings, but how do we experience hate unless we come to this physicality to really, really, you know, have an experience about hate so that we can grow as, you know, souls, so that we can learn more about ourselves and who we are. Um, so it, we've decided to enter this realm to have those extremes. And the ultimate purpose is to see what we do with them, how we react to them, how we perceive them, how we change, you know, that particular outcome regarding our actions. For example, if we are in a situation where we are being, let's say, physically or mentally abused, what do we do about it? How do we overcome it? Do we maintain that, you know, poor me mentality, or do we move beyond that and say, okay, you know, yeah, I came to experience that and I experienced that, but I'm a very powerful spiritual being and I, you know, decide to change it. I choose to change it and change my reality. And going back to the magic of it that was being discussed earlier, magic is only vibration and the
Yeah.
vibration we put into things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we can change that vibration just by how we deal with a situation and put a different energy into it. You know.
But I think the key of what you're saying, Tony, is that we, when you say we can, we will, I can, I will. That's the key right there. When we make that decision to either accept or deny, and we have the authority to deny everything that we see. But that's the key right there. When you say that we can do the changing, we have to be the ones to do the changing because no one else can do the changing for us. So it takes coming around. It takes, I believe that the soul assists in ushering or guiding or directing people into different opportunities where it becomes possible to make that change. If we accept, we can go forward with the change, or we can not accept. It's still, however it is, the lesson is there to be learned. What is it I said earlier in the program? What is it that the master used to say? Pick up your bed and walk. Because many times, not just with him, Dr. Yusui also recognized that you can disperse the same level of energy, frequency-wise, to people daily, and if they do not decide that they have received the healing, they will still be sick. You can bring sickness back onto yourself. The decision is, okay, I'm healed now. I'm done.
Absolutely. As healers, we're channelers. We're channeling that energy, but it's up to each individual to accept it and receive it and make it their own. Yeah, I totally agree. We can channel the most powerful healing energy, but if someone is not willing to accept it, it's not going to, create or cause an effect on the ailment.
Sharon, you had something to say? No? Okay. My apologies to the friends that I have that are readers and intuitives and mediums and psychics, because I know I stepped on a few toes earlier in the broadcast when I talked about what I said. Sharon, you heard me, right?
Yeah, but I don't think you stepped on any toes, because I
You
think
don't
that
think
was something that
I
needed
didn't
to
step on
be
your toes? I
said.
know.
It's all
I
good,
know.
Sharon, Reverend Sharon. It's all good because
It's all good, right?
we're here to really become and grow. More into our beings and who we are, and so there's no right and wrong. It's just sharing, growing, experiencing together, and
Exactly.
becoming the best we can be.
Yes,
And I feel
most
like we
definite.
also are learning, and a lot of us, are coming to a place where they have to at some point learn to be an observer in their own life. Yeah. To
That's a
um,
good point.
to allow, because again, reacting again, that's where the karma comes in, right? And
Very yes.
being able to observe from a place of, okay, wait a minute, hold on, and don't react, because it's the reacting that creates a lot of the things we don't really need now. Some of us had to learn the hard way.
Yeah,
Or the
Well,
easy way,
you know,
whatever.
it may be an amnesia problem that we know it already. We just needed to be reminded. Some of us again and again and again.
one thing
Three
I've
or four,
realized in a
yeah.
multiverse, where there are infinite possibilities, no one is really right or wrong.
Right.
But
I
one
mean,
thing we can
yeah.
agree on is that we're constantly creating, and we are constantly creating our own realities. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's no right and wrong, really. It's just, our
What is?
perception of.
Exactly. Now, I am going to, just for the sake of the Lyricus teaching order definition, uh, I'm going to, and this you guys have. This is part of what I sent to you. Um, the Lyricus teaching order originates in the central race of the seventh superuniverse. Within the central race is a sub-race known symbolically as the WingMakers. WingMakers. Within the WingMakers, there is a specific order of beings that are collectively known as Lyricus, and it is this group that is responsible for assembling and exporting the knowledge base necessary for a developing species to scientifically prove the existence of soul and establish the science of multidimensional reality as the nucleus knowledge system of the species. That would be us. We're the species, or one of the species. This outcome of evolution is universal and in the broadest measure identical for all species that are based on the biogenetic template of the central race, known as the seventh archetype, soul carrier of the individuated consciousness of first source. It is Lyricus that is responsible for shepherding, a developing species to the technological and scientific powers whereby the soul and the soul carrier are distinguished and acknowledged by the species at large. Okay, and let's see.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's us. There is more, but I did say 9:30. It's 9:32. If you guys want, I'll read the next two paragraphs, but you do have them.
Go for
Yep.
it.
Okay. All right. Human instrument. The human instrument consists of three principal components: the biological, the physical body, the emotional, and the mental. These three distinct tools and systems of intelligence and perception in aggregate represent the vehicle of the physical dimension of time, space, energy, and matter. In Lyricus terms, the human instrument is referred to as a soul carrier, and the soul consciousness within it is activating this sensorial system of the soul carrier to enhance the soul's influence within the physical world. First source is a definition of what first source is according to the Lyricus information. First source is a consciousness that inhabits all time, space, energy, matter, form, intent, as well as all non-time, non-space, non-matter, non-energy, non-form, and non-intent. It is the only consciousness that unifies all states of being into one being, and this being is first source. It is a growing, expanding, and inexplicable consciousness that organizes the collective experience of all states of being into a coherent plan of creation, expansion, and colonization into the realms of creation, and the inclusion of creation into source reality, the home of first source. Okay, you guys have those 2 pages. I will continue to, and you can email me or text me if there's something in particular you want to review on that. And I will, I'm in school full time. I'm writing 2 proposals at one time. I ain't got nothing else to do, right? I'm kidding. Let me know. Let me know so that next Monday when we get Robert back into position, we can bring these questions or whatever, because he's been on the path of this for much longer than I have. However, the gentleman that put this book together also studied with Krishnamurti. I'm not sure if either of you guys are familiar with who that is. Someone took exception when they thought I meant that they wouldn't know what I was talking about. And so I don't, it's not that way. So Krishnamurti, good source. Anyway, whatever you want to ask, just email me, text me, call me. It's all good. And I will, if I don't have the information at my fingertips, I will make sure that you have it at your fingertips in a 24 to 48 hour period. Is there any questions before we start the sign off? No questions.
No questions.
No statements.
Something that comes to mind, focusing on the simplicity of life in the universe.
Okay.
And that's something that I've been wanting to really explore, because we as physical beings tend to make things more than they actually are, when the key lies in simplicity.
Very good. Very good. I like that.
Very much so.
Yes. O'Reilly, what say you to that?
I agree. We complicate things. Absolutely, we do.
Yes, we do. We most definitely do. Okay. No other statements for this evening, right? We're done. We are.
Love you all so much.
I am. Yes, I'm so glad that you could join us. I am going to suggest that we do. Well, I was going to say the but I've been doing, for some reason, the Namoringeo lately. So if you would like to, we can do 3 of the Om, and then I'm going to go into Namoringeo. However, I bless each and every one of you. I call upon the archangels of light to surround and uphold you wherever you go, whomever you care for, whatever is the desire of your heart. This second week in our brand new year is going to be fantastically fabulous for each and every one of you and each and every person that you care for. I ask it in the name of my brother Yeshua and all that is sacred unto me. And I thank you so much for being in this particular timeline, for sharing this energy with me. So we take a deep breath, holding it for the count of 3. And then as you release that breath, and release it into the Om. On the count, 1, 2, 3. Om. Om. Ah, Namyo Renge-yo.
Namyo Renge Kyo. Namyo Renge Kyo.
Namyo Renge-yo.
Namyo Renge Kyo. Namyo Renge Kyo.
Namyo Renge-yo. Namyo Renge-yo. Namyo Renge-yo.
Nam yo ho denge go, 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 ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go, ke go, nam yo ho denge 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 go.
Good night and namaste. Shanti
Good
Shanti.
night. Namaste.